Skipper, you told me we would leave first thing this morning. I'm not paying you good money to stand in some line for 2 hours. Just where is this boat you promised for hire?
It's just up ahead, Dr. Lily.
I sure hope so. We've got to begin our quest for audit evidence.
Sure, lady. There it is. Come on. Excuse me. Coming through. Excuse us. Hello.
Welcome aboard the Jungle Voyage.
Love your cosplay costumes.
What is he talking about?
I'm your brave Irish boat captain, Fred O'Nutton. Get it? Fred O'Nutton?
I thought you said you had a boat, Skipper.
It's in the shop.
Today, we'll journey together on the world's greatest rivers.
Well, I've waited long enough. Let's get going.
Yes, ma'am, but first, boat safety. Please remain seated with your hands, arms, and legs inside the boat during the ride at all times.
You heard the lady. So, why is this journey so critical, Dr. Lily?
The AICPA recently revised its position on audit evidence. They hope to clarify what qualifies as audit evidence and how to evaluate that evidence. But if it gets into the wrong hands, it will awaken a great evil.
Right, lady.
I simply must discover the new guidance related to relevance and reliability of audit evidence. And I hope to learn more about the new automated tools and techniques.
Oh, we do a great job with automated things here in the park.
Get on with the cruise, buddy. Can't you get this tug moving any faster?
How about everyone grabs an oar and paddles? It would be so romantic.
Does he work for you?
No, but I kind of like him.
Our journey today begins on the mighty Amazon.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, all of this is considered prime real estate.
We must begin our audit journey by understanding our objectives, and we must evaluate our evidence, including the results of our procedures.
Based on that, you'll conclude whether sufficient evidence has been obtained.
And you can see evidence of a waterfall just up ahead, the beautiful Perspiration Falls. It's no secret that waterfall could use a good antiperspirant.
I'm glad you didn't tell a waterfall joke. It would be too mainstream.
Nice one, sir. We are now entering the Congo River.
I'm certain this is where we'll find both corroborative and contradictory audit evidence.
But we have to be careful not to be biased toward only corroborative evidence.
Yes, we must focus on the assessed risk.
I guess those auditors may have learned to use contradictory evidence to adjust their procedures.
I see, but why are they so angry?
A rival firm came in last night and took all their gear.
So I guess they're up a creek without a paddle?
Hey, you stole my joke.
You can have it back. It's not funny.
Stop fooling around, you two. Now we'll need to take into account the reliability and relevance of the information, and whether the information is sufficiently detailed and precise.
Don't forget the accuracy and completeness of the information.
Oh no, it looks like a rival firm ransacked our camp too. I just hate it when they resort to guerrilla tactics.
I told you something evil could happen. I wonder if they're still here spying on us.
I doubt it. They're probably not primates.
We are now traveling on one of the longest rivers in the world, the Nile. It goes on for miles and miles and miles.
Really?
Here you'll see a great diversity of animals.
Bull!
Excuse me? This is a family ride.
No. Bull elephants.
Oh, right you are. And also bull ants, bull dogs, bulldozers, bull horns.
That's not important. What is important is that there's a great diversity of information which may be used for audit evidence, such as oral or visual information, as well as paper or other documents.
Speaking of paper, I once had a book about papyrus. It was a good read.
And do you know why it's so difficult to write on papyrus?
No, why?
It's read only.
That line family reminds me that you could use various types of electronic information too.
Yes, and it's also critical that the information be relevant, related to the items being tested, and the period of time involved.
Lady, you're not lying.
Moving further down the river, you can see these accountants got into a tight spot. But with the right information, they could easily have stopped that rhino from charging.
How?
Just take away his credit card.
That sounds like a pretty reliable solution to me.
Likewise, gentlemen, our information must also be reliable, and that would depend on the nature, source, and circumstances under which the information was obtained.
Crikey! Look at the size of those crocs over there.
Back to the task at hand. We must also be aware of the susceptibility to management bias. This information is less reliable because it can affect either the development or interpretation of the information.
I assume the risk would generally be higher for internal information?
Yes, but it could also affect external information as well. The auditor will need to exercise professional judgment.
And I'll need professional judgment and great skill to navigate around this next waterfall. It's named after the famous CPA firm Price Waterfalls Cooper and Associates. The Nile has a variety of inhabitants. Take a look at those hungry hippos over there.
My kids love that game.
Really, you two? Pay attention. Obtaining evidence begins with your risk assessment. Then, if you choose to, you could test controls, and finally, you'd perform substantive tests of details or analytical procedures.
So, our procedures could include inspection, observation, or confirmation?
Yes, they could also include recalculation or reperformance. And don't forget the value of simple analytical procedures and inquiries. Oh no! I knew we encounter evil on this journey. Are those headhunters?
Yes, but we're safe. They're not the kind you're thinking of, and they're really picky about who they recruit. In fact, last week they turned away a very talented koala and an elephant.
Why's that?
They said their qualifications were completely irrelevant for the job. And speaking of elephants, here on the Mekong River we find two Asian elephants. As you can see, only one of them can swim at a time.
Why's that?
They only have one pair of trunks between them.
Tusk.
You two are incorrigible. We need to think about our greatest threat.
What's that?
Ourselves. That's why we must always be aware of our own auditor bias. It can affect our skepticism and judgment, the design and performance of our procedures, as well as the evaluation of the evidence.
Those biases could include availability, confirmation, and overconfidence.
Oh my, look at those ruins. Surely that is an ancient temple.
You are correct. That is, in fact, a Shirley temple.
Are we really going into that tiny canal?
Yes, and no one likes this part of the cruise. It's called the Root Canal.
This reminds me a little of using management specialists. There are many aspects of the preparation of financial statements that leave us in the dark, like actuarial calculations, valuations, and engineering. Without using specialists, we may not be able to get the figures we need.
Look at that very interesting figure of a man talking.
Why, yes, that's a figure of speech.
Now that's a good one.
Our journey is almost over.
Yes, but we're not out of the jungle yet. We still need to evaluate the specialist and understand their work. and then evaluate the appropriateness of their work as audit evidence.
Uh-oh. Watch out for that crazy guy.
What's he doing?
Waving goodbye to us, and that's the last leg of our cruise. We're back at the docks, and that wraps up our cruise. I hope you had a good time.
We sure did. And here's your tip.
Hey, be careful. Don't throw coins into the river unless you want to see your cash flow.
Oh, sometimes I just peck myself.
Zumba, yeah, oh my God.